Welcome back into another edition of Inside the Tornado presented by Walk-Ons. I'm your host, Chris Mangrum, and our guest today is the head coach of our esports team, Frank Morgan. Frank, thanks for being here.
Hey, thanks for having me, Chris.
So before we get into esports talk, wanted to congratulate you on your recent Hall of Fame nomination and acceptance when you were a wrestler here at King. So tell us what that honor means to you.
Hey, it's great. Wrestling was a lot of fun for King. It was a new program, kind of like esports is now.
Yeah.
So I was happy to jump onto something, kind of lead it into a new direction and, try to be the guy. So it was great to have been accepted into the Hall of Fame. And, alongside, we've got a gold medalist. I think that will be brought in soon. Several extremely talented wrestlers that will be alongside me eventually. So it's a great honor. I'm happy to, be at King and just kind of keep it up.
Well, talk about the wrestling background. You mentioned kind of starting the wrestling program. Now you're involved in the start of this esports program. And many people may be wondering, how did a Hall of Fame wrestler get involved with esports? So tell us how that happened.
Yeah, long story short, I needed to be more sedentary while bodybuilding in high school age. So I started playing Mario Kart 64 so I could sit there. I literally got the book and looked up how to do it correctly and started practicing. And 3 world records later, I got an esports job. So
there you go. That'll do it. Now, I spoke with one of your players last week, Jarrett Joels, and he told me you guys are kind of doing a different philosophy this year. I know for many years, the guys on your team might play multiple games. He said this year they're kind of focusing on one game. What went into that change of approach?
It's an approach I always want to take. Depth is a problem when you run 3 or 4 different games. They always get excited in the beginning of the year and want to play 2 or 3 leagues, 4 or 5 different titles. And I'm getting better at taming it as I can. But for the most part, we have taken that approach. Occasionally, someone will fill in as a backup for, that plays on another team. But thus far, we've been pretty lucky not having those scheduling conflicts. Esports is wild. It's 7, 8, 9 o'clock every night, and reschedules can happen last second depending on the league. So, but with the one-game approach, it has went a lot better. They're not as worn out. I mean, competing 3 or 4 nights a week compared to practicing 2 or 3 nights a week and competing one night is, I was thinking, hugely different. So
sure.
It's going well. Just trying to get that depth a little bit, more firm.
Well, fill us in on how the team has been doing this semester and what you're looking forward to the rest of this semester.
Yeah, starting with Counter-Strike. We did start in a couple of different leagues this year. There wasn't one that looked really enticing with the volume of teams and the caliber of play and, how they compartmentalized them into divisions. So we started this year not really knowing how it would go, but thus far we're undefeated. ECAC and NECC, kind of dabbling in both of those. We're doing an open league as well for fun, kind of like as a scrimmage. So we've had a couple forfeits, but other than that, the ones we have played have been great. Call of Duty wise, we're doing Play Fly and ECAC, and we lost to Arizona State last week in a close 3-2, but other than that, it's gone well, and that's the only loss that we've incurred on that team. And Rocket League wise, good Lord, Southeastern League, I want to say they're undefeated in the division they're in. And on the ECAC side, I think I'd have to double check the schedule. My apologies, but it's busy, but it's going well this year. And again, having one team, one game, one focus has made a big difference.
Well, our esports team is competing regularly, as Coach Morgan mentioned, against players from all over the country. So you can learn even more about our esports program by visiting our website, kingtornado.com. Check out their roster, their upcoming schedule, and also be sure to follow their social media pages to see streams where you can watch these guys compete live, like on Twitch and other platforms. So for Frank, I'm Chris. This has been another edition of Inside the Tornado presented by Walk-Ons. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.